Anybody ever had like a stress dream about something that you've done? Because I had one the other night about this MX-5. We'll see. We'll press on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Still working on it. It's just whether or not on the back end of it is it actually going to be worth it financially. We'll see. Good news. I actually found some footage from my S2000 escapades from last year. I've not been through it all yet, but something could come of that, and we might have like a bit of a retroactive video for the S2000. Me doing some of the work on that, which was missed and not uploaded in my hiatus. Anyway, back onto the topic of today, which is more work on the MX-5. Very quick update. I've ordered some parts for it. I've got some of them, but others are yet to arrive. But there's stuff I can be doing in the meantime. It's stuff I probably wouldn't really do if I had all the parts to hand, because I do it in a very strict order of operations. But I might as well do it. I think the car is going to turn out okay in the end. So I don't know if anybody else does this, but I tend to make like a to-do list, especially if the job is very big and detailed. In this instance, nothing's necessarily like super in depth. It's all just small jobs. First things first, we can get rid of these. Here you can see the belt issue. They stop, but they don't retract. So that's how the engine looks currently. What we're going to do now, I think, as the first job is clear everything ready for when the new gasket arrives. Let's get to it. Okay, hope you can agree that looks a lot better. Relatively clean now. That should do the trick. I'll be honest, I would not recommend using sandpaper on this if you can get it off with a knife. There's a few resin areas and a few bits of stuff that was just caked on so bad. So what I did is got as much off as I could with brushes and brake cleaner. I'm not too because it's getting an engine flush. I'm not too fussed about a bit of brake cleaner and a small bit of debris and all that jazz getting inside. As long as it doesn't go inside the actual cylinders through the spark plug holes, then I'm gravy. So yeah, just cleaned it up with a little bit of fine sandpaper. Again, not something I would necessarily recommend, brake cleaner and sandpaper on your, to prep for your rocker cover gasket, but it should be good. This car is filthy, so I think it's about time we give it a wash. Okay, whilst this is drying, it's had a quick spritz as you've just seen. Whilst it's drying, we can have a quick look around in the arches to see if there's anything amiss. When I was spraying around some of it, I did spot a few things, and rust always shows up worse once it's soaking. So let's have a look from back to front. So I have a feeling this is a fail. Seems to be broken. The actual arch lining itself is relatively clean. It just had a lot of mud in it. A lot of the components back here look pretty crusty. To be fair, when they're dry, they don't look anywhere near as bad. But now they look absolutely terrible. Some of this might need replacing. As you can see here, I'll have to double check. They're still okay. It's got a bit of rust, but that looks like it might have a tiny bit of filler on it. Might be worth investigating that a bit more when I get under it proper. Let's go on to the other rear. This one was caked. Being the near side, it tends to get a lot more shit in it. So again, same thing back here. I can't remember how these assemblies work, but I think these particular boots here need replacing. It's not too bad of a job, if I remember correctly. Let's see, hopefully you can see that. This is what caught my eye, though. This sill looks like it's had a scoop of filler on it at some point, so I'm wondering underneath here, is there going to be a gaping hole? This side does seem to have a bit more rust on it. I mean, it's, you know, it's commensurate of this type of age, but how bad is that? I wonder if that cover is literally saving it from an MOT failure. As I was filming that, my pressure washer seal decides to break, and also my snow foam lance decides to start leaking. So, you know, things are looking up. Not. This side looks actually pretty good for all intents and purposes. This is actually probably the best quarter in general, just on the face of things. Finally, the driver's side looks pretty good as well. Again, the rubber around the shock absorber is starting to go, so probably need some new shocks at some point. Okay, we'll wait for it to dry, and then we'll probably give the headlights a bit of a buff and see how that goes down. Now it's time to tackle the headlights and give these a buff, because these are looking very, very sorry. To be fair, I don't even know how these passed an MOT, but they're very yellow. Anyway, what is on the menu? I'm going to be doing this by hand because I've got no sandy drill bits, unfortunately, and I've not really got the best assortment of sandpaper to get this ground down. There's a big jump. Ideally, I'd like something a bit softer to start with, but we've got P320 into P500, then 2500, it's a big jump, and then 3000, and then we'll buff it. It should be enough to get a lot of this grub off, and then we will use some, I've got some abrasive polish left over from an old headlight restoration kit, and some of the UV spray. Whilst I'm doing this, I'll be spraying it with some soapy water to promote the sanding and keep it clean. So yeah, let's just get to it. Okay, so I've just done the first headlight, and I think we should remind ourselves what the headlight looked like before. So there is one that hasn't been done. There is the one I just did. There's a few scratches, and I didn't get all the yellowing off in the corner. I wish I had some P800 grit to bridge the gap, or P1500 or something like that. But either way, it's a massive improvement. It's night and day. So I hope you can agree that was time well spent. And if you don't, then screw you. I'm going to do the second one off camera, and then we're losing daylight, might be able to take the passenger seat out and start disassembling the seatbelt in there. I think that could be a good use of time. Anyway, moving on to the next job. See you soon. Look at them, they've come up not too bad. This one was a bit worse. The yellowing was quite deep, so, but I think for all intents and purposes they came out okay. Again, having another quick mooch around the car whilst I've been off camera. You know, now that the wells and stuff like that have dried, these areas look nowhere near as bad as they do dry when they are, you know, from when they are wet. The rear seems a bit crusty still, but brake lines and hoses seem okay. This is for the rear bumper. It's missing loads of stuff. You can see on this seam here there's a little bit of browning, so I expect to take that off and see a little bit of rust under there, which we can treat. But all in all, I think this rear quarter is quite good. I got rid of that dumb aerial, but I can't remember if these were a slot in or a peg, and I think it's a peg, and if that's the case, that might be a nightmare to get out because it's kind of rusted on. Another thing I've noticed is all the chassis ID stickers are on the panels, so I don't think it's been resprayed at any point. Yeah, this one, the rust and what looks like a chunk of filler, very badly done. I think. I mean, can I? Oh, do you know what? That's not actually that bad. Okay, that just needs a clean. You know what? It's good stuff. I'm nowhere near as annoyed now. Now that was an absolute pain to get out. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd have to take the fascia off on both sides to get to just the passenger seatbelt tensioner, but no, you can get in there. It's just a bit of a squeeze and a lot of bolts and cables, but it's out. I have no idea really whether or not I can actually service this now looking at it. It's not something I can clean easily or disassemble. It has yellow stickers on it saying danger, of course, so might need to grab a replacement for that. I might do some reading to see whether or not there is any quick fixes I can do for it. But yeah, the passenger seat's out. Should be easier to clean whilst it's here like this. So that's, I think, where we're gonna leave it. I'm still awaiting those parts, like I said earlier on in the video. So I think the next video will be probably looking into them, because they should arrive imminently. Cool. All right, I think that's everything. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. A subscribe would be a big help. And you know, if there's anything regarding the MX-5 that you think I should do, or is anything I'm missing, you know, I'm an amateur at this, absolutely. So, you know, tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Suggestions are always welcome, as well as any feedback. See you in the next one. Bye for now.